Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks, lads. Joined with my guy, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson.
Doing
How we doing tonight, Ben?
good. It's a night late, but it's a good thing we pushed it today.
It's a great
We
thing.
got some big news
it.
today, so
I mean, we got a lot going on. A lot with the MLB playoffs, a lot with obviously the breaking NBA news today, which caught everybody off fucking guard. So honestly, like, this is like, we always say that we usually start the show a day early and then the news breaks a day after. This is like the first time where like we pushed it back on accident and everything fell our way, dude.
and it worked. Yeah.
It absolutely fell our way. So here we are. Welcome everybody to the show. This is Taproom Sports Podcast. We're going to be breaking down Thursday Night Football, some Major League Baseball as well. We're going to talk about some wild card implications, AL West division implications, AL East division implications. Just a lot to talk about after some things that have transpired today. But first, Ben, are you sipping on anything tonight?
I am. I'm going on one that we both had on the show, and that's the New Glory Key Lime Ghost.
Nice.
So let's
go, y'all.
It is it's one of those that has a nice pucker to it, but the more you drink, the less of that sour, that tartness kind of goes to it, and you get that key lime pie taste to it. It's a really good beer. I actually got this at Trader Joe's, so this is one that you can find all over the place. 4.7%. It really allows you to drink this beer, and great for a hot day. We got a couple of those warm days left. Definitely got to go and try one of these because it's good stuff.
Indian summers out there in the Bay Area.
It's gonna be Indian summers and then a fucking wet winter again. So
Yep. I remember living in Santa Cruz, Watsonville, Monterey. The last weekend of September, first weekend of October was always like the weirdest fucking year, dude. It was just like randomly like 90 degrees.
well, I mean, we're going down to New Orleans on Saturday, and it's supposed to be in the 90s. It's 80 degrees there right now, and it's like, or at least when I was looking around 9, which is 11 o'clock their time, and it was still 80 degrees.
Well, Ben, this is that time of year where they get like hurricanes and shit.
Oh yeah, and it's down south, so it's gonna be a little warmer, but
humid.
Yep.
You're gonna need multiple changes of clothes. Bring extra underwear, bro.
There we go. I'm gonna get so drunk I'm gonna shit my pants anyways. So
no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying more so you're gonna get fucking just like ultra wet, dude. Like you walk outside, it's like taking a shower.
No, I know. Yeah.
All right, I'm sipping on Bad Beat Brewing Company. This is a Hoppy Times IPA.
Oh, there we go.
So this is a new one from them.
We've been having a lot of bad beats, but not so many hoppy times.
Yeah.
Not this week.
It's gonna turn around, dude. That's how it goes, bro.
No, I know. Bad
beats happen. You just gotta ride the storm, and fucking it comes out on the other side eventually. But yeah, man, excited for the show. Before we hop into baseball and stuff, we obviously got to bring to attention the the Dame Lillard trade. to the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, just massive fucking, like, I didn't expect this, and like obviously I follow like every Bucks beat writer. Even all the Bucks beat writers were like, holy fuck, like the Bucks kept this shit under wraps, and like it comes out later that the Bucks have been working on this trade with the Portland Trailblazers for the last month about.
Oh wow.
And Dame's agent actually went to the Bucks and the Nets in the previous 2 weeks and said that Dame would welcome a trade to either team, either the Bucks or the Nets.
So really all we knew about was Miami.
That's all we knew about. That's it. Nobody knew anything about any other teams, and then it comes out today, and it's like, holy shit. John Horst did try to negotiate the trade without having to move Drew Holiday. Obviously, that was the big piece for Portland, because now Portland can also flip Drew Holiday to another contender for more draft capital and assets. So at the end of the day, the Miami Heat do not get it done. They really tried, and if you're a Miami Heat fan, you know you're looking at this and you're like, man, we let fucking Strus walk, we let Gabe Vincent walk to free up cap space so we could get this Dame trade done.
Yep.
And obviously, like, the Portland Trailblazers had zero interest in what the Miami Heat were offering, and you got to give credit to John Cronin, the GM of the Portland Trailblazers. Like, he said all along, like, we're not going to trade him to Miami just because he wants to go there. Like, we're going to trade him to where we get the best package.
Yeah. Well, and they did him right. They traded him to a contender.
Yep.
They give him that opportunity to win, and they get a decent return back. I mean, I think they probably could have gotten a better return if they opened the door to all teams.
I don't
but
know,
they did want to,
because
no?
I don't know who else is going to trade for him, to be honest. Like, I
He's
mean,
got 4 years left on the contract.
if you think about it, dude, Milwaukee gave up Drew Holiday, which was an important piece of their championship team in 2021.
Yeah.
And they gave up 2 draft picks. They gave up a first-round pick in 2029 and a draft pick swap in 2030.
Yeah.
And they were able to facilitate it with Phoenix so that also Portland gets DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, and Ayton gets out of Phoenix, which is a win-win for both Phoenix and DeAndre.
Exactly. And if there's a loser in the situation, I think it's Phoenix. I would say it's Phoenix, because you lose a guy like DeAndre Ayton, you bring in Yusuf Nurkic, who, I mean, it's whatever, but
yeah,
and you bring in Grayson Allen, but I mean, like, they didn't really like improve their roster any. I think they actually got worse.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think those two are, I mean, yeah, maybe Nurkic, but Grayson Allen is not what that team needs.
Nah. I mean, but they're like cap struck, like with Booker, KD, and Beal. There's only so much they can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they kind of have to like navigate through those situations. But if for Portland, getting DeAndre Ayton, who's a young, up and coming player himself, he just didn't want to be in Phoenix because like he was like fourth fiddle there.
Yeah, and they didn't utilize him.
Yep.
They didn't utilize him well in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to what he thinks, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be an interesting NBA season. The Milwaukee Bucks moved from plus 750 down to like 375 today to win the NBA title.
Yep.
It's gonna be I think it's gonna be rough at first. Like, they gotta build some chemistry, and like there's a lot of new pieces on the team, plus a new coach, and like I don't think they're gonna just jump out the gates and like just wow everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Like, would I be shocked if they did? No, but I don't expect it.
Yeah. Well, and I think a big thing too is going to be, this is going to be an offensive minded team, and you hope that they can put up enough points that you don't have to have that strong defensive presence that you're missing with Drew.
Nah, you still have two all NBA defensive players in your starting lineup, Ben.
Yeah.
And Brook Lopez and Giannis. So the defense, like, yeah, losing Drew, I mean, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league. Losing that, it's hard to replace. But you know what? The last 2 seasons, the Bucks were out of the playoffs because outside of Giannis, they couldn't get any points. They couldn't score buckets.
Yeah.
And what would teams do in those situations? They would like quadruple team Giannis.
Yeah.
No one else could fucking make a play. Yeah. Now you get a guy in Dame where you can't do that. because Dame can knock down shots from 35 feet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It changes the whole dynamic of how you can run your offense. And on top of that, according to B-Ball Index, Giannis is top 1 percentile in pick and roll players as a roll man. And Dame Lillard, top 1 percentile in pick and roll ball handlers. So, I mean, you're putting two guys where their strengths are each other's games, which I think is beneficial. Now, Dame obviously is not the greatest defender in the world. They're going to have to obviously navigate that. But on the flip side, Grayson Allen was their starting 2-guard last year, and that dude can't defend a fucking statue.
Yeah.
So I think that's getting lost in translation. I think people are too focused on what Drew did defensively and not what he was missing on the offensive side, right? And, like, a lot of that does have to do, like, 2 years ago in 2022, obviously Chris Middleton's hurt. Things might be a little bit different if he was injured in that Boston series. But last year, Giannis was obviously hurt for 2 of the games, and then he wasn't himself the rest of the time. But still, I mean, like, they needed Drew to step up in both those series, and, like, he just couldn't do it offensively. He averaged like 16 points a game on like 30% shooting. Like, that's just not going to get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think what you're seeing here is that they plug a big hole, an offensive hole that you get with Dame, and you only open up a small hole.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be as important.
And they drafted Andre Jackson Jr. out of UConn, who, right away he's going to come in, and at the very least he's going to be an above average perimeter defender. Like, he doesn't have the best shot yet. He's probably working on it, but he is a good playmaker, and he's also a great defender. So, I mean, having that guy there to at least play some minutes, I do think benefits them. And that's why I said I think it's going to be a little rough going to start out with, because they do have a lot of new pieces like Andre Jackson Jr. that they're going to have to work in. And now, losing Grayson Allen, on top of that, you're going to need guys like him to really step up and play important roles. So, and obviously they have Malik Beasley too. They also signed Malik Beasley. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season, Ben.
Oh, absolutely. And since we're on the topic of NBA, I want to ask you a question about my team. Warriors just signed Rudy Gay, but we were also looking at Dwight Howard. Who do you think would have been the better pickup, Dwight Howard or, their signing of Rudy Gay?
I mean, I would probably say Dwight, because the last guy that really shut down Jokic in a playoff series was Dwight Howard in 2020 in the bubble when the Lakers won the title. Because
Dwight's 3 years old.
that's probably and that's probably what the difference was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's been playing in China. Obviously, the league isn't as good.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what kind of shape he's in now? I mean, he looks like he's in great shape, but I mean, like you said, he's 3 years older, so we don't know like where he's at. So, I mean, but then again, like, Rudy Gay hasn't played significant minutes in a minute. And the Warriors are just like, dude, they're a really old team at this point. You got 38-year-old Chris Paul. You got Rudy Gay, who's 38, 39 years old. Curry's like 36 or 35, whatever it is, and Clay's 31. I mean, that team's getting old, man, and Draymond's over 32. So, I mean, I didn't think the Warriors were going to contend this year anyways. I think their window's absolutely closed, but the West is a interesting conference, man, because, like, you got teams like the Thunder who are coming up.
Yeah.
Great young players, right? You have the New Orleans Pelicans of the world. Like, if Zion stays healthy and Brandon Ingram can stay healthy, which are big ifs.
Those are two huge,
two big ifs, dude, for sure. But I mean, if they do, you have to look out for them, right? And then obviously you have the Suns that are going to be there. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the Clippers, another big if. Like, if Kawhi and PG can stay healthy, what do you get out of that team? So I think the West, like, there's a lot of different scenarios I could see happening. Lakers too. If AD and LeBron stay healthy, you know, LeBron's 39 now.
If Ja can,
well, Ja's suspended 30 games, so
yeah,
you know, they're gonna have to navigate that. I also think losing Dylan Brooks is gonna kind of hurt them in a way that I don't think people actually understand. And that's another thing. Houston, like, that's a wild card too, because they got a lot of good young players there. Jabari Smith, I watched him in Summer League, look great. So it's going to be an interesting Western Conference, man. That's for sure.
Yep.
As far as the Eastern Conference, your top two teams are Milwaukee and Boston, and then everybody else.
Yep. And Miami always seems to find a way to at least stay there.
I mean, the year before they were fucking one and done. I mean, last year, Ben, they had a phenomenal.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
postseason
regular
run.
season.
Last year in the regular season they were shit, and honestly, they were 2 minutes away from being eliminated in the playing game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they're always there.
They had a phenomenal run last year. That was an anomaly. I don't expect that shit to happen again. But who knows? Jimmy Butler's out there.
27 days?
So NBA?
Yeah. 26 days or something
Today's 27. Yeah, that's about right. Shit. I know when you see NHL preseason, you know we're getting close to NBA season
coming.
too. Excited for NHL too, man. It's gonna be a good season, man.
It's gonna be interesting.
Any have you looked at any futures as far as points on any teams? And
no, I haven't. A lot of them look low though.
There is a lot.
I did look at the numbers, but I haven't actually deep dived into any of the teams. So I'll do that at some point and make sure before the season starts, and we'll put some bets in.
Nice. I've been talking with Andrew McGinnis of Wager Talk. He's a big hockey capper. We've been talking a lot, and he got me stoked for hockey too, man.
Did you realize Erik Karlsson got the Norris?
Yeah.
I did not realize he got the.
That's why, because dude, the year we couldn't trade him before because he was like always hurt, and now he had finally had trade value because he played so well.
Well, we didn't really get much for him, anyways. But
because we basically dumped the contract. It was a salary dump for sure.
11.5 million. No, thank you.
And Pittsburgh's like fucking talk about a senior citizen home out there, dude.
Yep.
That shit is
absolutely.
Shit getting funky out there. All right, let's talk about some baseball, Ben. Before we talk about Thursday night baseball, we need to hit on some baseball. So we got a lot of playoff scenarios winding down. So basically today, before all the games started, the Padres were going to be eliminated if the Reds won, the Marlins won 2 games, and the Cubs won.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Marlins won 1 game, the Reds lost, and the Cubs lost, which keeps the Padres mathematically alive for the wild card.
Or if the Giants beat them.
Oh yeah, the Giants had to win too.
Yeah, and it was close. They went into extras, and then they got mollywopped.
The Padres got their first extra inning win of the year tonight.
Yep, it only took them 58 games.
So they're still mathematically alive, man. They're still mathematically alive, and they get a 3-game set starting on Friday against the Chicago White Sox. So, what could go wrong? But if Chicago wins tomorrow or Miami wins tomorrow, they are eliminated. Finito, done.
Yeah, it's Miami, Chicago, and Cincinnati have to lose out. I think Cincinnati can lose 1 game.
Cincinnati can win 1 game still.
Or sorry, win 1 game, yeah.
They'd have
and
to
then
go 1
San Diego
and 2.
has to.
San Diego has to win out. Yep. And Miami and Chicago each have to lose 2 games.
Yeah.
For them. But I mean, they're still mathematically alive.
Yep.
So we have that going on in the NL. And then
So let's talk about the NL.
Okay.
Before we get to the AL. We've got Arizona +2 in the wild card standings. You got Miami and Chicago sitting at that last spot. One of them's going to take it. One of them's not likely. And then you have Cincinnati at a game and a half back. San Diego 4 games back. Do we even think Cincinnati or San Diego have a shot?
I mean, I would say that. I would say yes, only for the simple fact that Chicago just continues to lose. And Miami, who do they play after the Mets?
Miami has Pittsburgh.
They have Pittsburgh. So, I mean, Pittsburgh's been playing hard. Obviously we bet them today and they fucking choked like a motherfucker. Yeah. But, I mean, I would say if I had to choose one of those 2 teams, I would say Cincinnati's still alive. They still have a chance, dude. They have 3 games against St. Louis.
Yeah,
they take care of business there, and then Miami loses 2 games and they're in.
Yeah, Cubbies have 3 against Milwaukee and 1 against Atlanta.
Yeah, and the good thing about Milwaukee is like they've packed, like they're already ready for the postseason. Like now they're gonna start getting their rotation ready for the postseason,
Mm-hmm.
which we're gonna talk about in the AL in a second. So I do think for who plays them, the Cubs.
Cubs play
No,
Milwaukee and Atlanta.
I do think that benefits the Cubs having to play 2 teams that are already postseason bound. However, like
Unless they keep getting swept,
yeah, that's the thing is like they
because
keep
they got
losing.
worked the last 2 games against Atlanta.
Well, they blew both the games.
Yeah,
They were winning both the games and ended up losing them
in the 10th and I think the 8th.
And Tuesday night they lost the game because Saya Suzuki dropped a routine pop fly.
Yeah. Oh, that was the 9th, wasn't it?
I think it was like the 8th, but
It was the okay.
they couldn't, like, it's tough to come back from. And the Cubs bullpen, which was like a strength of their team, like all of a sudden is like injured, and now like they can't even, like they just can't navigate from starter to finish the game anymore. It's been difficult without Alize Adbury out there, their closer. So I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Cubs lost out. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, like, Milwaukee's getting ready for the postseason. Like, they're obviously trying to, get their starters lined up for the postseason. So if they have to rest guys like a Corbin Burns or a Freddie Peralta or a Brandon Woodruff, like, they're not going to pitch. You know what I mean? Which I think benefits them.
But do you want them sitting for 7 or 8 days?
Well, I want them ready. Like, I wouldn't want Corbin Burns to pitch on Saturday and then have to pitch Tuesday.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather him sit for 6 days and pitch on 3-4 days rest.
Sure.
When they don't need a W. And then Arizona, like, they're playing Houston, who's fighting for their playoff lives too.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a good chance that Arizona gets swept by Houston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Houston has 2 pitchers set, France and Verlander.
Like, Arizona, they just have to win 1 game and they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if they lose out, they can miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they can win tomorrow against Chicago and
oh, that's right. They do have the White Sox. They win tomorrow, they're locked in, and then we're just fighting for that last spot.
Yeah.
But I want to see the Marlins make the playoffs.
Okay, so we've got Woodruff set for Milwaukee on Friday and Peralta set on Saturday.
And then no pitcher on Sunday.
Hauser.
No, okay. Yeah. I mean, I still think that the Cubs definitely have the hardest road for that last spot.
Yeah.
I would put Cincinnati and Miami over them right now.
Yeah. Miami's got Pittsburgh with Keller and Priester.
Yeah, I mean, the one tough thing is that they've been playing hard, man.
Yeah.
They haven't just been rolling over. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They've been playing some decent ball. So
okay. So who do you think takes that last spot?
Miami.
Okay.
I think the Marlins do it. I think they have the best pitching staff. I think they have the best manager of all those clubs standing. They love to just choke games, so
yeah. I think because they have an extra game, I can see that happening. Miami taking that lost spot. I think Cincinnati has the easiest schedule remaining with St. Louis there, but they're a game behind. So that's going to cause if all 3 teams were tied, had 3 or 4 games left, all with the same amount of schedules. If it was, Chicago with Milwaukee, Miami with Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati with St. Louis, all have 3 games left, I'd give it to Cincinnati. But I think because they're a game and a half back, I don't think they're able to pull that off at this point.
Yeah, and also because they're playing a division rival, not a division rival, but a division rival in St. Louis. I I do think that like it does give St. Louis like some motivation to like knock them out
To
of the
knock
playoffs.
them out, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it didn't give the fucking Giants any motivation, so
Giants are a long story, Ben.
yeah.
Maybe we'll save that for later in the show. Actually, let's talk about your Giants.
Oh Jesus.
Like, what is your outlook on the Giants?
I mean, this is we got 3 games left, all against LA, which is the tough part. So tough way to end the season here. Likely not getting that 81 and 81, which is where I thought that they were going to be. This is a mediocre team that we knew was going to be mediocre. I think people had too high of expectations because of last year. And this is the team that we should be having. Or not that we should be having, but that is built for the Giants right now. So this is exactly where I thought they'd be. We need pitching. We need hitting. We should have addressed that at the trade deadline. We didn't do shit.
Well,
The additions that they made this year, Haneker and
Conforto.
Yeah, Conforto weren't great. It's Zadi needs to wake up and really focus on what this team needs. They need to get some more depth in the pitching. That should be front and center.
Yep.
Our starting pitching was shit this year. You do have Harrison coming up, which is going to be nice. But that can't be it. You can't throw out a bunch of below mid guys behind Logan Webb and expect them to do anything.
Well, so I think like if you look at the history of the Giants in that ballpark, right? They've always built their team around pitching because it's a pitcher's ballpark, right?
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, like they've had a lot of mid pitchers pitch well for them because of that reason, Ben. Like you agree with that. So Ross Stripling, he had a good year last year for Toronto. They bring in Ross Stripling and dude just sucks. You know what I mean? Like absolutely falls apart, isn't the same guy. They bring in Alex Cobb and he was great. They brought in D. Scalfini 2 years ago. Dude had a career year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he's just never been the same. Like he's regressed to the mean. And it's not like Farhan hasn't gone out and tried to get hitters, dude.
True.
He went out and signed Carlos Correa. They thought they had a deal with Arson Judge.
They had a deal with Arson.
they had a deal with Arson Judge. They didn't have a deal with Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
But it's these things where it's like it's not from an effort of not trying.
Absolutely. But you have to get the job done.
Sure.
You have to build a team where players, free agents want to come. It's not like they didn't have the money for it.
Well, this is the thing, Ben. He goes out and signs Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon gets hurt. You guys have the same reaction. You're like, man, why did we sign Carlos Rodon? He's always hurt. Dude, that's why he let him walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there wasn't a better pitcher on the market. Who else? Who was he going to sign? There wasn't no good starters on the market. Carlos Rodon was the best starter.
Yeah. 2 years ago, yeah.
No, last year. Carlos Rodon, last free agency, last offseason. He was the best starter on the market.
Yep.
But in hindsight, great job not signing him because he would have been fucking hurt all year.
We don't know that. Pitching in New York is different than pitching here.
He's been hurt though.
Yeah, but he wasn't hurt when he left.
He wasn't, but he's been hurt the majority of his career. Sure. Last year was like the 1 year that he was like magically healthy on a career year. Oh, shocker.
Well, I think that's something that you can push into getting pitchers to come here is the ballpark and the training staff, the pitching coach, because you see guys having their career resurrected, having them get career numbers, which is something that, being, a 1A, 1B with Logan Webb, being a 1-2 punch with Logan Webb. It ain't Sean Manaea. It ain't Ross Strickling. It ain't Dave Scalfini. It ain't Cobb anymore. It's not fucking Keaton Wynn or Kyle Harrison. Maybe Harrison in 2 years, 3 years.
Harrison
then
will be
where's
good
Webb?
next year. Harrison will be good next year.
Yeah, but he's not going to be a number 2.
Yeah, you will.
I think we're going to need another year before Harrison gets to.
Nah, he has top level stuff, dude.
Oh, he definitely does, but he's young.
He'll be all right next year.
Yeah,
you guys will
He'll be our number 3 next year, because I think we will have to bring in a legitimate number 2.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I was Farhan, that would be my number 1 priority, is bringing in a starter or 2, because, like, if you get good starting pitching, we've seen that the offense can be mid in that park as long as you have good pitching. And, like, they have a good bullpen.
Yeah,
it's just like, dude, we talked about it in July. Like, they couldn't sustain throwing a bullpen game 3 out of 5 days, dude. Like, the bullpen was just absolutely taxed by the end of the year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, like, that's what they have to fix.
Yep. You've got some good young guys coming up. You've got Luciano, who's going to be taking over for Crawford, who's unfortunately done. Rough that he got hurt to end his career. For the last couple of games of his career, we knew he was going to be retiring, but
he's going to be a great Oakland Athletic next year.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You've got 3 good young catchers. One of them is going to be gone. One of them is great trade bait to be gone. So you've got either Bailey, Sable, or Bart. My guess is we're going to see Joey Bart get traded.
Yeah, I agree.
And you put out Bailey and Sable, and great starter and backup right there. I would put either of those guys in every day.
Yeah. Sable can also play in the field too.
Yep. We need a first baseman. Lamont Wade is not it. I would say probably an updated second baseman, because Estrada has his good days, his bad days. You've got Casey Schmidt, who's going to be. Oh no, Schmidt's going to be second.
Yeah, he'll probably be the second.
He'll probably be the second baseman. Yeah, so Estrada go out and get a third baseman. Go out and get an outfielder. And that third baseman and that outfielder better be able to fucking hit, because they need more offense.
Yeah, and I think Farhan's really focused on, like, platoon hitters, which worked in 2021. It worked to, a lot of guys had career years and whatnot. But I do think that, like, that's kind of how you have to build your offense in San Francisco, because it's going to be difficult to get free agents to sign there, dude. Like, yeah, it's going to affect their numbers. And at the end of the day, like, your numbers are everything in baseball, right? Yeah. So it's like getting guys to sign there, you're either going to have to A, overpay them, or B, trade for them, which every time the Giants do trade for a good bat, they end up just fucking walking in free agency, because they want to play somewhere. Yeah, they want to play somewhere where, like, they can hit in a hitter-friendly park and stuff. So I think that's going to be the interesting thing, is how does Farhan kind of navigate that piece. And that's why I think that they need to focus on the pitching. That's where they should start. Yeah. Focus on the starting pitching, get good starters, and then the rest will kind of just work it in. Even if you get platoon guys, as long as if you have 4 good starters in that ballpark, yeah, dude, we've seen it.
Well, yeah, but we got to put up more than two runs offensively. Yeah. Because Logan Webb has pitched gems all year, and they cannot get more than 2 fucking runs in support. Mm-hmm. So it definitely is a balancing act right now, because you do need both, because what they're putting out offensively is not working.
Ben, put on your Giants owner cap. Do you get rid of Farhan and Gabe Kapler, or do you keep Farhan and get rid of Kapler? I think one has to go.
That's tough, because Gabe has done wonders. He did wonders last year.
He did wonders in 2021.
Yeah, sorry, that's right. Yeah.
I do think he's kind of lost the locker room.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is I think you're right there.
Because that team had no fight, dude, down the stretch.
Yeah. I think you give Zadi another year, maybe 2, depending on what he does this offseason.
Because the one thing about Farhan, dude, is, like, he definitely restocked the Giants farm system.
Yep.
And like he found Patrick Bailey.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
A lot of these guys are his guys in the
Sable's his guy.
Yeah.
I think Luis no. He did Ramos.
I think he drafted Schmidt.
Okay. Kyle Harrison is his guy.
Kyle Harrison is his guy. I don't think he drafted Matos though. Or he also didn't draft what's his name? Luciano. Or sign Luciano. He didn't sign him. But like when he took over, the Giants farm system was like one of the worst in Major League Baseball. And now it's like top 12 or 13. So it's like he's totally restocked it. You know what I mean? So I do think, with that being said, like, I don't think he's the fall guy yet.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I
give him one more year.
And I think you give him like 2 more years.
Well, okay. So depending on what he does this offseason and what the Giants are next year, I think is your stepping stone there. If he is any more successful than an 81 season, you give him another year.
This is the problem is, Ben, with that extra wild card, it makes free agency so much more difficult because everybody has a chance. Like everybody had a chance before, but now you really have a chance at making the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like,
if we look at
almost half the league makes the postseason.
Yeah, if we look at it, the only people that are likely out. Next year, I think the Pirates get better because O'Neal Cruz is back.
But the Pirates. But that's what I was gonna say is like, you almost have to build internally because getting free agents is so difficult.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a chance at the playoffs, and then because of that, you have to out negotiate the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Angels, like all those big market teams. You have to out negotiate them every single year. So it's almost beneficial to like just literally build your farm system a la the Baltimore Orioles, right? A la
the Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah.
Like build from within, and then once you get to that point, then
you can bring in your players. Yeah.
Then you go out and like sign and trade to get there, because like I can tell you right now, the Rockies, the Nationals, like they're not going out and signing guys next year, right? Yeah. The A's, the Royals, the White Sox. The White Sox are probably going to tear it all down and rebuild.
Yeah, the Angels, the Tigers, the Guardians could be even one of those teams.
I do think the Tigers are a sneaky free agent.
Yeah, they've got some young guys who are coming up.
And they had a great second half of the year, dude. They were one of the best teams in the second half. Over 500. They made a massive mistake signing Javi Baez, dude. That might be one of the worst contracts ever.
Yep.
But they're a sneaky team, and it's like that's the thing is like you have teams like that you're gonna have to negotiate with, because in the NL you got Arizona right there, the Cubs are right there, Miami's right there, Cincinnati's right there. Yep. San Diego, I can promise you right now, they're not tearing it down, dude. Like they're gonna. They just have to tinker that middle relief and get a couple of decent players.
I think with Hader's action, he's probably out of there.
Yeah, Hader's
that'll be some trade bait.
He's a free agent. He's gone.
Oh, he's a free agent. He's gonna walk. Oh,
he's gone. Blake Snell's a free agent. Probably also gone.
Yep.
But again,
did they
like
re-sign Darvish, he's fucking old.
I think Darvish has another year or 2 left.
Okay.
But again, Petco Park is a pitcher-friendly park, so it's easier to get pitchers there than it is to get hitters. And like they already have their hitters. They have Manny Machado. They have Juan Soto for one more year of arbitration. They have Xander Bogaerts. They have Fernando Tatis Jr. They got to fill in with platoon players around them, because you can't trot out Trent Grisham Jr. every fucking day, dude. Like you just can't. Like that dude fucking sucks. And then their middle relief, they blew so many fucking games. They were one of the worst teams in 1-run games this year because their middle relief blew so many games, and they only have 1 extra innings game, and it happened to happen today. So I think the Padres are almost right there. So that's the thing is like there's just so many. I think you have to build from within. And that's why, like I say, like Farhan might need another year or two. Because I don't know if signing 2 or 3 guys is going to put them over the top.
No, not in the division that they're in, and not in the National League. It can put them into a wild card position, but they're not going to be going far.
Yep, agreed. All right, let's move over to the AL.
Then we're going to need to take a quick break because I got to get a second beer.
Yep, we'll hit the commercial, and then we'll get back into it. So AL, American League, Ben.
Yep.
Or do you want to take a break real quick and then hop in the American League?
No, let's do the
American League,
and then because then we got football to talk about.
Okay. All right. So American League, we have the AL East still up for grabs. So if Baltimore wins tomorrow against Boston, they win the AL East. Doesn't matter what Tampa Bay does. If the Baltimore Orioles win tomorrow, they win the AL East. All right. Texas is up 2.5 games.
3.
Is it 3? No, 2.5. Because they have 3 less losses, but 2 more wins than Houston. So 2.5 games.
Oh, yeah, it was before I had to refresh because Houston winning tonight.
So they have 2.5 games lead on Houston, and then Toronto, Houston, and Seattle are battling for that last wild card. Seattle's now a 1.5 games back of the final wild card with 4 to play against Texas. Now this is the problem that I have. This series tonight, or this series with Seattle and Houston, was a massive series, Ben.
Yep.
Seattle had Luis Castillo on the mound, game number 1.
Kirby game 2.
He gets shelled. Kirby had a phenomenal outing.
Yep.
They
even
win game
with
2.
Balls from the fans thrown at him.
Which was fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then game 3 tonight, you have Bryce Miller against Framber. Framber really struggled in that first inning, and Seattle could not take advantage of it. He actually struggled for like the first 4 innings. Seattle could not take advantage of it. And then later on in the game, Nectar Harris strikes out Julio Rodriguez and really punks him, man, bullies him. And the way
I'd go bullies. I don't know if I'd go punks him.
Nah, you can't let my star player can't get punked like that. And on the flip side, my star player can't get punked like that and have a game with 4 at-bats and 4 Ks. Cannot happen.
And a walk.
He got no dog in him. Zero dog.
He was 0-for-4, but he had a walk. No, I mean, I don't disagree with you on that. But also at the same time, who the fuck is Hector Neris? He's been in the league for 10 years. 8 of them with Philly, and I have no idea who this guy is.
He's a good reliever. He has a nasty splitter.
He's got a decent ERA, but
my whole point is,
who the fuck are you, bro?
Houston came into this series after getting swept by Kansas City, Ben,
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
And Seattle had an opportunity to take advantage, and they're 4-6 in their last 10, and they're absolutely limping into the stretch. And your best player in the biggest series strands 16 runners in 3 games.
Yep.
It cannot happen. Cannot happen.
I mean, agreed. But you're a fucking team. You can't put everything on the back of Julio. I agree.
Your teams go how your stars go. If the same thing happened with Jordan, we would be saying the same thing. But you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Jordan hit dingers in this series, which
Yeah,
is why.
but Jordan has also been ice cold in series before too. So
sure, but not an important series like this. This was a massively important series.
Yeah, but Jordan also has players around him, and I think that's something that we're missing in Seattle. Is not a complete team. That's
I agree.
They're a better team than what we were just talking about in San Francisco, but they are missing major pieces in Seattle.
Well, I think
And
the thing that benefits Seattle the most is their starting pitching.
oh, absolutely. But it's the same thing. You've got to put an offense together that are going to get those runs and not rely on one or two guys there.
I mean, you basically have Cal Raleigh and Julio, and then you get, Eugenio Suarez is inconsistent. But aside from like those three guys, Ty France having a very down year.
Yeah. JP Crawford having a pretty down year.
Well, JP Crawford actually having a good year.
He
had 18 home runs. That's the best in his career.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm expecting more out of that.
I agree to your point. Like their lineup is, and then Kelnick was having a career and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then now he comes back and like obviously he has to like work his way back.
Yeah.
I agree. Like the problem is like the Mariners always try to do things like they go out and trade for Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez had like a fucking horrendous first like 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Where
came back a little bit later in the season, but started back in such a hole.
Yep. 100%. But yeah, I mean they got to do something. But every time they like go out and do something, that player always sucks. They went out and signed Adam Frazier last year after Adam Frazier was coming off a career year.
Yeah.
Adam Frazier sucked.
Yeah.
Goes to Baltimore and has a good year this year. You know what I mean? It's just like there's just something about Seattle. They signed Robinson Cano. Dude was never the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know what the fuck the answer is out there, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, Robbie Ray they lost for the year with Tommy John. That was a big L, but I mean, like they got a lot of good starting pitching. So, if I had to choose a team not to make the playoffs in the AL, though, it's the Mariners at this point. I thought they had to win tonight. Yeah,
the loss tonight really does hurt them. And let's look at teams that who they have left. So, Seattle has a 4-game set against the Rangers. You've got Toronto, who's got one more in New York, and then 3 against Tampa Bay. That's going to be tough.
Well, no, the thing about that, though, Ben, if the Orioles win tomorrow, Tampa Bay is going to pack it up because they have no chance of winning the division. So they're going to start to set their rotation for the playoffs. Because they're already in the wild card.
Yeah.
They're already the first wild card. There's no way they could lose the first wild card.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we thought Tampa Bay was going to, pack it up well before too, and that
but they're still in the division race.
Yeah.
But if they lose tomorrow, the division's over. I mean, not if they lose tomorrow. If the Orioles win tomorrow, the division race is over.
Yeah. Who do the Orioles play?
They play Boston.
Okay, yeah. So Orioles will probably take it tomorrow.
In Baltimore.
Yeah, Orioles will probably take it tomorrow.
Yeah, but I think
who do we have for Tampa Bay? Savale, Littell, and Bradley.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, if Baltimore wins tomorrow, those dudes will not pitch in that order. They're gonna.
And then Weaver as well. Weaver pitches tomorrow.
For Baltimore or for Tampa, they don't play the. Yeah. They play the 29th.
New York. Sorry. Yeah. No, they play New York and Weaver's pitching.
Toronto.
Bassett. Yeah. Toronto and New York tomorrow.
Must-win game for Toronto tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, because Toronto is 1.5 back. No, Toronto is a half game up.
Yeah.
On that final spot. So, I mean, Seattle, Houston, and Toronto.
But, I mean, Seattle,
have that opportunity, but Seattle is, that's a struggle.
Definite outside looking in.
Yeah. They'd have to sweep all 4 games against Texas, and they just got swept by Texas.
Yep.
Which doesn't look great for them.
They have to win every single one of those games, and they have to hope that Houston or Toronto drop a couple.
Yeah, Houston would have to drop 2 of 4. Toronto would have to do the same thing. They'd have to drop 2 of 4.
Houston only has 3 games left.
Houston only has 3 games left.
Yeah, they play Friday.
7.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. So Houston, who does Houston have? Arizona. And Arizona needs to win.
Yeah, Arizona has to win. So does Houston, though. Like, they can't afford to lose either. That's why, well, the thing is if Arizona wins tomorrow, they lock up that wild card. So they don't have to win. They lock up the final wild. They lock up at least one of the final wild card spots if they win tomorrow. They have to win tomorrow.
Does Arizona have 3 or 4 left?
They have 4.
Okay.
But they have a 2-game.
That's right.
They have a 2-game lead on Chicago and Miami. So if they win tomorrow, then there's no way they can miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
They lock up a playoff spot. So if they win tomorrow, then there's a good chance Houston could sweep Arizona because Arizona, like I said, they're going to set their rotation for the playoffs. So, if Gallen were to pitch on Saturday, he's probably not going to pitch in the game.
Yeah.
In a game, right? So that benefits Houston. So in turn, same thing with Toronto. If Baltimore wins tomorrow, Tampa Bay has nothing to play for it. They already have the number 1 wild card seed locked up. They can't win the division. So they're going to set their rotation for the playoffs, which leaves Toronto likely to win out or win 2 of 3 from Tampa. Mm-hmm. So Seattle has the only chance Seattle has, they have to win all 4 games against Texas. They have to.
Happen. After tonight, that's not happening.
I don't think so either. I think that they are so defeated, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If that shit didn't fire them up with the Nectar Harris shit,
yeah,
nothing is gonna fire them. And the sorry part is like that shit happened in the very next inning. They go out and Houston puts up 3 runs.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily retaliation.
Takes the game out of it.
Yeah.
And then their next ABs, they just no fight.
Yeah.
They got no dog. They got no dog in them. Team sucks.
So that puts us at Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Houston.
Yep.
For those 3 wild card spots.
And Houston could still win the division because Seattle could win 2 out of 4 and still miss the playoffs if Houston wins 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Seattle, they have to sweep. They have no other option but to win all 4 games.
Mm.
Do or die, all hands on deck, must-win games, just like tonight was. Tonight was a must-win game for both Houston and Seattle. And Houston, you got to give him credit because Framber Valdez, he looked like shit, dude.
Yeah, he didn't pitch a good couple innings there.
But you know what, Ben? Luis Castillo looked like shit. And they lost fucking 6-1.
Yep.
Framber Valdez looks like shit. They win 8-3. Yep. That's the difference between good and bad teams. Seattle couldn't take advantage. Julio bases loaded. K. Julio runners on first and third.
Bases loaded was the double ground into a double play.
No, that was Thursday night.
Yeah.
Tonight, K. Oh, I'm sorry, not Thursday night. Monday night.
Tuesday.
Tonight, bases loaded, K. Runners on first and second, K. Runners on first and third, K. You can't have that, dude.
Yep.
Your best players have to perform in these type of games. This team is not ready to win playoff baseball.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. Because I didn't.
Will be next year when they have a good bat there.
I better hope so, Ben.
Yeah, it might happen.
All right. I mean, shit. You're thinking Ohtani?
Yep.
I don't know, dude. If I'm Ohtani, I'm looking at this team. I'm saying this team got no dog in them. Why do I want to go there?
Yeah, but it puts them over the edge. You have the pitching. You need a little more offense, and that offense.
Ohtani's gonna go there. Gonna be the same fucking team, dude. They ain't got no dog. They got no dog in them. They got no dog in them. All those dudes in that dugout, no dog.
I disagree with you.
No dog in that team.
They are definitely, no team is going to be the same team with Shohei on it.
I mean, dude, the Angels can't
Look
make
at
the
look
playoffs
at where
with
the
Shohei.
Angels are going to be. Look at where the Angels are going to be next year without
They're gonna
Shohei.
be. They're not gonna make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs with him. What does it matter?
They're going to be the fucking joke of. They're going to be the A's.
They're the joke of the league with
They're going to be
him.
lower than the A's next year.
I don't know. We'll see about that.
They're going to be
They're gonna be
lower than
bad
the
for
A's.
sure. I don't know, but
They're going to
we'll
be
see.
lower than the A's next year.
All right, let's take a quick
100%.
break, and then we'll hop back in here and we'll talk some Thursday night football.
There we go.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the program. We're happy you guys are joining us. We're going to talk some Thursday night football, some Packers, some Lions. You know,
How classy are we tonight? That's
what,
my question for you.
what are you sipping on?
I don't know. That's my question. Are we going classy or are we going everyday?
You be the pick of that. I would say go classy, but I also don't want you to waste some of your good
It's
stuff.
never a waste.
True.
It's never a waste.
I'm just gonna drink another beer, so
I'm going bourbon for my second.
Ben's pulling out the bourbon.
I think we're gonna go classy tonight. I've been having some small glasses the last couple nights of this, so we're gonna keep it going with some
Big
horsey.
ballin' bourbon.
With some horsey, so we're going to
nice.
some Blantons tonight.
Looks
I saw my
good.
buddy posted on Instagram that he was drinking some Blantons
Who,
I think,
Michael?
like 2 nights ago. No, Maddie. And I've had a little bit of Blantons every night since that. So
Nice.
I have an extra bottle over here, so I think that's why I'm doing it. But
Damn, we got a lot of movement in this Packers Lions game, by the way. All right, so what are you sipping on?
so I'm going Blends. So this is
As you said
this
it like
is-
3 times before that.
Yeah. So this is one of the kind of more well-known bottles coming in. It's 93 proof. So this one was not too old, dumped on March 10th, 2022. Barrel number 478. Warehouse H, Rick number 20. Blends is a good bottle. Cool things about Blanton's is the tops. You have the horse racing, and there's a letter on each of them. Make sure a letter on each of them that is a different horse style, and the goal in life is to get all of the letters BLANTON. So
Nice.
and S. I think there's an S there too. So yeah, that's the goal in life. You can buy the set, but that's not as cool. You gotta find them all. The problem is they're pretty hard to find, and then some places upcharge it to like $300, and it's not okay.
Ooh.
I think I got one as a gift, and I think I paid 110 for the other. So
Nice.
yep, I'll take it.
All right.
Same beer.
Same beer. Same beer for me. All right, Ben. So we got a Thursday night matchup. We got the Packers and Lions. This line opened Packers -1, got bet to Lions -2, came back to Packers or Lions -1.5 now. So we've seen a lot of movement. It's kind of gone up and down. And a lot of it has to do with like injury designations for both teams. I think as far
Offensively, two big ones for Green Bay.
offensively,
Jones and Watson, yeah.
both probable.
Yep.
Upgrade to probable. As far as, but also on the flip side, Jair Alexander, who's one of the best cornerbacks in the league, is out for Green Bay. So that's a huge loss to them. And on the flip side, you have
David Montgomery is questionable.
he's upgraded to probable.
Upgraded probably, okay. And then you've got offensive line, left guard, Taylor Decker and and then left tackle, Taylor Decker, and left guard, Jonah Jackson.
Yeah, they have a lot of questionables and probables.
Questionable, yep. Your fullback, Jason Kabinda, is out. Oh my God, Halapoulivaati Vaitai is out.
Yeah, he's a guard. He's out. He was out last game though too.
Yeah, I mean this is a big question for your offensive line.
Yeah, they do have a lot of offensive line injuries, and I know Bakhtiari's not playing, but his replacement has actually been playing really well. So I think he's kind of a healthy scratch, and Irv and I were talking earlier, and Irv was like, well, if they thought his replacement was so good, why don't they just trade him? And I, did some digging into his contract, and they can't trade him because he has a dead cap hit, $19 million if they trade him before March 23rd of next year. So they basically have to wait, or March 17th or March 23rd. I forget the exact date. But he's also been paid basically for the whole year because his entire contract was restructured. It's basically all on roster bonus. So whether he plays or not, like, he already got paid. He got paid as soon as his roster bonus kicked in.
Gotcha. You said Jair Alexander is out? Or I see him as questionable?
I see him as out.
Okay.
This is on covers. Where do you see him questionable?
ESPN.
Let's look up their actual website. Jair Alexander, questionable on Green Bay's website.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Green Bay has okay. I'll just say they have the Raiders after that. Raiders and Broncos, so it's not like
it's not the good spot.
You need to. It's not worth waiting another week. This would be the week to come back, especially a division game. Both teams are 2-1.
Both teams in first place.
Upper hand to whoever wins.
Yeah. So I mean, my biggest thing about this game is, like, I look at it at face value, and I'm like, yeah, Detroit's probably played better than Green Bay for sure. But
I mean, Detroit got the big win in week 1 against the Chiefs, which the Chiefs didn't show up for. they got the big win last week against the Falcons, but we're really questioning what the Falcons have as a
I also think
for
is
their QB. So
I also think too, Ben, like Detroit. This is the first time I think in my lifetime they've ever been favored at Green Bay.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like this is uncharted territory for them, dude.
yeah.
Which I think is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they took out Green Bay last year.
They did, but they were 4.5-point dogs in that game.
Yeah,
But they won.
yeah, and I know that they weren't favored there, but
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've never been, like, I can't ever recall in my lifetime where Green Bay's been favored where Detroit's been favored in Green Bay. But, you know, they're coming off, they lost to Seattle at home. Obviously, they beat Kansas City, but if you actually look at that game in its entirety, like, Kansas City probably wins that game by 2 touchdowns if dudes don't drop the ball, because a pick six led to it was a drop pass. It was a tip. Tony should have caught that pass. Led to a pick six. Kansas City probably wins that game by 2 touchdowns if it wasn't for drop passes.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then you have Detroit being 1-2.
Yeah, and what would the spread be then if you think they were if they were 1-2, what would the spread be for the game?
Probably back to that 4 points.
I'd say like 2.5, 3, yeah. So I think there is a little bit of overreaction here.
But then let's look at what Green Bay's had. Green Bay's had the Bears, who are absolutely dog shit. They lost to the Falcons by a point on a week that the Falcons played really well, and they just barely beat the Saints last week.
They were down
in the second half.
They were down 17-0 in the fourth quarter.
So, you know, they won that half by a lot. But that was also a half that Derek Carr was out and Jameis Winston came in and played, which
Jameis Winston might be an upgrade over Carr if we're keeping it 100. Because they didn't do anything with Carr either. They had a punt return touchdown, and they had in that game they had a punt return touchdown. What else did they have? They had so they had one offensive scoring drive, and then they had that punt return touchdown. They didn't have anything else after that.
Yeah, Carr had that passing touchdown.
Carr wasn't like great though.
No, he's not.
Carr was 13 of 18 for 103 yards.
103
Jameis
yards,
was 10 of 16 for 101.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the biggest thing is Jordan Love just has to be more consistent.
Yeah.
Because when he plays well, like he did against Chicago, you know, that was easy. He played well for a half against Atlanta, and they were winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the big thing too is having Jones back. It's going to be a huge addition to Green Bay's offense. That doesn't put all the weight on Jordan
and
Love.
Christian Watson, Ben, because that's his favorite target.
That's true. Yeah.
That's his.
But even if you get one of those two,
they'll probably get both of them back tomorrow. They're both questionable.
Yeah, Aaron Jones I guess Jones did play 9 carries for 41 yards.
I think both of them play tomorrow, and I think both of them show out tomorrow. I like Green Bay in this game, to be honest.
What's the line?
Plus 1.5.
Okay.
I think Green Bay wins.
What's over under coming at?
45.5.
Ooh.
Kind of lean the under.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of points.
Let's see. Lions had 21, 31, and 20. So that's 52, 72. So that's just under 25 average. Green Bay.
There's some 46 out there too.
38, 24, and 18. So 18.
Basically, everyone's at 46. There's a couple 45s out there.
74, So they're just about 26, 27 points. Yeah. I think that, and really the numbers, you can't put much in the numbers for offense and defense because you've got major injuries on Green Bay.
You also have some books that have gone to a pick 'em in this game.
Yeah. I mean, 1.5 points. I mean, I guess that comes into play last week when it was an 18-17 game, but most of the time 1.5 points doesn't do you much. I'd take it in money line at that point.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of game is like, if it's under 3, I feel like you might as well just take the money line. But I like the Packers in this game, man. I really do. I think they win.
Yeah, you kind of got a hard on for Jordan Love though, so that's why I want to take that extra care in looking at this game.
I mean, I don't have a hard on for Jordan Love. I just said he's got to be more consistent.
I know, but
all I said is that Jordan Love.
We've heard you against.
All I said is that Jordan Love is better than Justin Fields, and that is 100% true, dude.
And that Green Bay is going to be a better team this year with Jordan Love than they were last year.
And they're on pace.
You've been saying it. You've been getting a little chub for him. Let's be real.
Let's
be real.
I think Green Bay was massively undervalued coming into this season, and I've been correct as they're 3-0 against the spread. So obviously they've been undervalued to the market. They're 2-1 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. Dude, they were picked to finish 4th in this division, dude. How the fuck do you pick this team to win and finish 4th?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Like, everybody was like so high on the Bears, dude. Everyone's picking the Bears to win this division, dude. The Bears might not win a game, let alone the division.
That's very true. Minnesota's not doing much better either. So I'd still take Minnesota over Chicago.
Most people pick the Lions to win this division, and I get it. But the Lions can't. They're not good on the road.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna look to that first week. Oh, they beat the Chiefs on the road. Yeah.
No, the Chiefs beat themselves.
The Chiefs beat themselves.
Yep.
Like, bro, I love the Lions, man. The Lions have been dog shit my entire life, so it's good to see them be good. I like when the Lions are relevant. Yeah. Let's keep it 100, man. Like, the Packers are still a better team in my opinion. Like, from top to bottom, they have the better defense. They have the better offensive weapons and pieces. It's just a matter of whether Jordan Love can be consistent. And like last week, he wasn't good for 3 quarters. He was not good. That's why they were losing. But he stepped up in the 3rd quarter or 4th quarter and he played well. So if he can like continue that, and if he can play like that for 4 quarters, it's a good football team. It's a very good football team. Just like the first week, the second week against Atlanta, he played really good the first half. And he really struggled the second half.
I mean, we're talking little bits of difference between their defenses. Detroit's ranked 18th, Green Bay 17th. I mean, I guess you can tell me about DVOA there.
Well, the thing too is last week the Packers didn't have Jair Alexander, which is a huge loss.
They might not have him this week.
He's questionable.
Yeah. Did he practice today?
Limited participant, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
Usually that means you're going to play.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander, he's one of the best corners in football.
Damn, Dallas moved to the 10th best offense.
Because my Cardinals, baby. Cardinals should be 3-0, Ben.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to win this week, but...
That's fine.
Yeah.
So I picked the Niners to win in Survivor this week, so I hope they win.
There we go. I don't think you have an issue there. I mean, to be honest, Niners can win 16 games this year.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Who are they going to lose to?
I mean, there's going to be 1 or 2 games where they trip up.
Yeah, 1.
You think they're going to go 16-1?
They very well could.
Bro, you talking about me getting in trouble on for Jordan Love? Benjamin.
Offensively and defensively, this team is...
I mean, I agree with you. I think they're the best team in the league. But I mean,
Who are they
NFL is
gonna-
just like every Sunday is different.
Absolutely. But the team that they could lose to, now I don't think that there's that big push there. I thought that they could lose to the Cowboys week 5.
That's in San Francisco though, right?
In San Francisco, yeah.
See, like it's they're such a good home team. Like,
Yep.
it's tough for them to like lose
Like-
at home, given unless there's like hella injuries or something. But like, I
The
would
Browns, maybe.
What's that?
The Browns.
Yeah, the Browns defense looks really
That
good.
that could be their loss. The Bengals, maybe, but likely not. But I mean, I don't see them losing to the Cardinals, Cowboys, Browns, Vikings, Bengals, Jags.
Do they play the Vikings in Minnesota?
Yeah.
That's a sneaky spot, dude.
No.
It's a good offense.
They might not cover, but they're not going to lose that game. Seattle, Eagles, Seattle, Cardinals, Ravens, Commanders, Rams.
Do they play Eagles at Philly or in
At Philly, yeah.
That's a tough game too. That's probably
say
like a
that
Sunday or Monday night game too.
They either lose the Browns game or the Eagles game. I think that's it.
They might lose both.
15-2 or 16-1. They might not lose either.
Damn, Ben's calling them for going undefeated, dude. Let's see. I wonder what the odds are for them to go undefeated.
I don't know.
Interesting. I like it. All right, so what do you like for Thursday night football?
I don't know. I don't like the over under. I think best value. And I don't where's the line at? What's the VIG for Green Bay? Money line.
Shoot. I just had it up. God damn it. Plus
Over sacks.
Plus, the best value you could find is like plus 116.
I mean, I'd probably take that. I'd take over sacks. Both of these offensive lines have injury problems.
Yeah, but the Packers' offensive line has the same starting lineup as they had last week and the week before, and they have the number 1 success rate in football.
Yeah, I think getting Aaron Jones back into taking more than 9 snaps and not having AJ Dillon take 39, I think is definitely going to be a big push there.
Yeah, maybe Jordan Love will have to throw it 44 times this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with the if you get those guys back, I think you go Green Bay.
I lean the over too, just because both these teams can score, but primetime game, division game.
Yeah, it's gonna go under.
I wouldn't play the over, so I would lean under 46. But I do like Green Bay. I'm gonna fire Green Bay. I think that's gonna be my best bet for today.
I think value wise,
Money line.
yeah, yeah.
Could see it.
I think so. I'm not the biggest fan of this game. Bet wise, I don't know if I'll play it. I'll play it, but I think you have to put that bet in now because the second you get Watson and Jones back in as on the roster for game,
Probably
that number
goes to-
drops.
Yeah, I like Green Bay to win, dude. Time for them to win this division, baby.
Yeah.
Plus
But I also
450.
want Jahmyr Gibbs to ball out. And
Yeah,
have
so
him
do
be
I,
rookie
because
of
I
the year.
have him on a fucking fantasy team, and my fantasy team sucks because I don't have a fucking running back.
Gibbs is doing.
He was
Doing
all
good.
right last week. He hit 80 yards rushing, but half of it came on one fucking carry. Actually, a third of it came on a carry.
I have the number 2 offensive point getter.
Who, Puka Nacua?
No, sorry, running back. CMC.
Oh yeah, nice.
Mostert after last week has more points.
I also don't understand. I put in a waiver claim for a Kane and I didn't get him, and I'm in last place. How the fuck do I not have the number one waiver wire?
Oh, interesting. Did you try to pick up somebody else?
No, dude. I tried to pick up him and him only.
Oh wow, huh?
And I have the third waiver wire this week.
Huh?
It's okay though.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's all right.
All right, you get some best bets.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's go, y'all.
All right, what's your best bets, Benjamin?
So I mean, I guess we got to go Green Bay money line. Oh, damn. No, okay, I didn't.
All right.
And I'm gonna go. We're gonna show some heart. We're gonna go a half unit on the Seattle Mariners.
Huh.
Gilbert versus Montgomery.
You're a better man than me, Ben.
They gotta fucking show up. I think they'll lose the last 3, but
You're a better man than me. That's all I'll say there.
fuck it. Let's scratch that. Baltimore. They'll win the division tomorrow.
Mean Dean on the hill. I like
We're
that.
doing best bets. We gotta do that.
I'm going Green Bay plus 1.5. All right. And then I'm also going Jared Goff under let me see what his completion is at. I'm going Jared Goff under 23.5 completions.
Okay, I should have looked at prop bets. I did not.
This is also anticipating that Jair Alexander plays.
Okay. So there's a little asterisk there.
Yeah. But I mean, I would probably take that 23.5 now because it might drop if Jair Alexander does play. It might drop to like 21.5.
Mhm.
So I might look at playing that now. But Green Bay on defense, allowing 136 yards rushing, so that's where they really struggle. But passing is where they really do their damage. Top 10 in pass yards against, top 10 in completions against, 22, top 10 in completion percentage. So if Detroit's, that's why I kind of like Green Bay, because Detroit's gonna have to run the ball, which they do well, right? But yeah, I like Green Bay. I like under 23.5 completions for Goff, and Green Bay plus 1.5.
Chris Sale on the hill. I like that Baltimore bet. I don't know what the big is, but
He's backing Mean Dean Kramer,
yep, not backing Chris Sale.
the fighting Jew.
He was Jewish.
Dude, he pitched for fucking Team Israel, bro.
Oh, interesting.
Love my Jewish brethren.
Let's see. Do we have a line? Where are we at? No, not listed yet.
For the Orioles?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Seattle minus 121 tomorrow.
Against Montgomery?
Yep.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I just, the way they played tonight, dude, I can't do it. And Matt Brash pitched 2 nights in a row. They pitched Tapia 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, but they're gonna get an ass whooping tonight.
From who?
The upper brass.
That was a pathetic fucking performance. If I was a fan, I would have thrown trash on the field.
You're gonna let fucking
I'm just joking. I wouldn't do
Hector
that.
Nectar come at your star player like that. And
I
not
mean, if
do
you were going to
shit.
handle business, you should have done it right then and there.
Oh, I don't.
They fucking folded after that. They look like shit. Sorry ass fucking team. No dog in that team. No fucking dog in the Mariners. Sorry if you're a Mariners fan. Seattle is
as you're wearing a Seattle hat too.
Seattle is my what's it called?
Your last home.
Yeah, but I mean I would call it like the Bay is my home. And
Yep.
Seattle's like little brother to me. Like I love Seattle, bro. I love the city of Seattle. I wish nothing but the best for them and their sports teams unless they play my teams. But dude, what I saw from the Mariners tonight, Ben, was no dog in that team.
I don't disagree.
So, sorry, Mariners. I think your season is over, and that's unfortunate because I would have really loved to see the Rangers or Astros miss the playoffs.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely agree. We'll get a nice bat next year, though.
Hopefully the Dodgers don't get it, so we don't have to fucking hear Irv all off season.
Plus, I know him in Jersey, so
that's true. Anyways, thank you everybody for tapping in with us. Hopefully y'all get some winners tomorrow. Hopefully you didn't tail us on Sunday because we went over 5. I think you guys had 2 bets. I had 1 bet.
Yeah,
but was not a great day for.
It was 4 though because we both had the same bet.
Oh yeah, that's right. 0-4.
Yeah, no, it was not a good day.
Yeah, it was hasn't been a good week to be honest. But we're gonna bounce back tomorrow, baby.
Yeah,
tomorrow is a new day. We're gonna get these fucking winners, y'all. We're gonna cash these fucking tickets. So thank you for hanging out with us. I'll be back on Friday evening with AK. We'll be talking some college football for Saturday, previewing the slate. And yeah, man, it's gonna be good stuff. And then I'll be back with Ben and Irvin on. Oh, that's right, you're gone.
I'm gone. I might not be back until next Sunday.
That's right. So
I should be back on Tuesday, but
so I'll be back with Irv on Sunday night. We'll be recapping NFL week 4 and going down all the games. So and previewing Monday Night Football. So definitely want to tap in with that. So for Big Ball and Ben Larson, I'm Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Lads, we'll catch y'all later. Peace.
we out.